Welcome back to the Morristown Market Report. I'm Amy Schrader with Remax Real Estate 10.
And I'm Kim Swan with Union Home Mortgage.
We do not have a local business here today. As you know, we got like tons of snow and ice last week, and I think everybody is just trying to get back to work, get back in a routine, and get caught up at this point. So our guest for today wasn't able to come. I totally understand that. So Kim and I are just going to talk with you today about mortgages, about interest rates, about the market, what happened in the Lakeway area in 2023, and kind of give you a broader understanding of where we're at right now. So what are interest rates at right now?
This week they've moved up just a little bit, but they're still in the sixes. And, and like I think I ended up help 59 families last year purchase a home. And I just always like to say, some people think, hey, I've got to have a down payment. You may not. Some people think I've got to have excellent credit, and that's also a myth. So anybody that's thinking about, hey, I might get a little bit on a tax refund and would like to just see where we stand, definitely want to help those people this year, because this year's, so far, January has been pretty good. Normally this is a slow time, but we're seeing movement, so it's definitely a good time.
I'll pull the number, I do my Monday market video for everybody and kind of give you the numbers for the past week or so. But since January 1st in Hamlin County, we've had 32 homes go under contract. Mm-hmm. And basically that was for like a 2.5 week time period because, people couldn't get out last week and go look at houses and do all that. So that's a lot of activity, I think.
January. Normally, January, in my experience, has always been really slow.
Yeah.
So
everybody's recovering from Christmas and waiting on Uncle Sam's refund.
That's right. That's right.
So let's say I'm going to get $3,500 as a refund, which I would love, but that's not going to happen. But let's say, theoretically, I got a $3,500 refund. So I know that's probably not enough for a down payment. But what else could I use that money for in an effort to buy a home right now? Well, if I wanted to buy a home in 2024.
Sure. Lots of times, when people go under contract, they want to do a home inspection, and that has to be paid for up front, so they can pay for their home inspection. And they can use that remaining to pay some of their closing costs. I know lots of times, as a realtor, you probably do this a lot, but you put in the contract for the seller to pay the buyer's closing cost. Well, if you can pay your own closing costs, then you possibly get that house a little bit cheaper. So
definitely,
so that's an option. Or hey, if we can get you in a 100% loan, seller does pay your closing costs. That'd be some great money to buy furniture and replace appliances or just whatever moving. So.
Or if you had to pay off a credit card to be able to qualify.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
because I don't know what interest is on credit cards right now, but I can only imagine.
I think they said they're like 20 to 23%. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have one that I use for business, pay it off at the end of the month, and roll on. So I couldn't tell you. We were talking about HELOCs earlier today, and I'm like, I don't even know what the rate on a HELOC is, but I'm sure it's pretty high right now.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. I'm sure
so the Fed's supposed to meet, I think, next Wednesday.
Yes.
So what do you think? You think they're going to start those rate drops this early in the year, or you think they're going to wait a little bit?
I think they'll go ahead. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think they will. Of course, it's election, with the election and stuff too. I mean, we want to make things look better for both parties, and so I think they may go ahead and start it soon.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that last week while I had nothing better to do than sit in my house and think. I was thinking about that, I would say probably from now until August, around Labor Day, I think we're going to see quite a bit of business. I think it's going to slack off after Labor Day because that's when all those political ads are going to start hitting. And you know as well as I do, you've been in this business long enough. What do people say? Oh, yeah. I'm not doing anything till after the election. I got to see what happens, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what they all say. So I think after September this year, we're going to start seeing a decrease in transactions until after that election and people kind of get an idea of what's going to happen and what direction we're going in, so to speak. But
exactly.
All right, so we are going to talk about the numbers for 2023 for the Lakeway area, which is Cobb County, Granger, Hamlin, and Jefferson County. So in that 4-county area, last year we had 1,446 homes that sold. The average sales price was $311,047. The median sales price was $280,000. Average days on the market was 56, and the median was 26. Okay, so sold prices ranged from $25,000 to $2.7 million. The total volume of sales was $449,774,339. Now, we always compare, like, how did we stack up to 2022? In 2022, there was 1,754 homes that sold. So we did see a decrease of 17.5% in the number of homes sold. The average sales price was $296,708. The median sales price was $260,000. So median sales price went up by 7.5%. Average sales price went up by about 5%. So even though we're selling fewer homes, they're still selling for a little bit more than they were. Median days on the market in 2022 was 39, and it was 100 list to sell price ratio. So in 2023, that median sales price was $280, and the list to sell price ratio was 99.6, and 26 days on the market. So homes sold quicker overall in 2023 than they did in 2022, which is good.
Oh yeah.
You know, I talked about that all year last year. If you price your home right, if you use a professional photographer, if you get it ready for sale, you're going to get the most money in the least amount of time. Interesting stat for last year, there were 676 homes that sold within 30 days on the market, and 230 homes sold between 31 and 60 days on the market. So that was about 63% of the homes that sold within 60 days of being on the market. That's a question I get asked all the time, is how long is it going to take my house to sell? So if you do all the things I tell you to do, it's probably going to sell within 60 days. But I did a breakdown by county. Cott County had 189 home sales, average sales price of $252. Granger County had 93. Now, when I say Granger County had 93, some of Granger County's business does go into the Knoxville MLS. My numbers are only from the Lakeway MLS. So Granger County probably had more than 93 sales, but they fell into a different MLS. But 93 sales, average sales price of $328,000. Hamlin County ended up with 654 homes sold at $286,396 for the average sales price. Jeff County had 510 homes sold, average sales price of $361,382. And as we know, a lot of times Jefferson County's numbers are going to get a little elevated because they have those Douglas Lake properties that get included in there. Mm-hmm. So if we exclude the lake properties, they're probably going to be 275, 280 would be my guess. But you know, the Douglas Lake properties sell, right now it's hard to find one for less than $1 million over there. Wow. So they've got several $1 million properties, some $2 million, and then I know there's one in Stonebridge that's like $4.5 million.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Look at those pictures.
You gonna buy it? Because I know a good realtor for you.
We'll just be looking. We'll be window shopping.
I hear you. I hear you. Interest rates are going to have to come down a little bit more for us to afford that.
A lot.
All right, so right now in the 4-county area, we have 265 homes that are active and available. There's 184 homes that are currently under contract. So last year compared to 2022, down a little bit as far as number. Everybody knew that was going to happen because even nationwide, the number of transactions was lower. And that was due to the higher interest rates and the lack of inventory. If we had the inventory, we could have sold the inventory.
It's good to see the values went up, you know, because, you know, so many people say, hey, I'm going to wait till, I know you hear values come down, prices come down, and I don't think it's going to happen, and it's good to see that that didn't happen. You know? Yeah, I mean, when you have, you know, we've talked about that, it's the economics, law of supply and demand. Mm-hmm. As long as the demand is there and the supply is limited, yes, prices are not going to come down. So I don't foresee them coming down. You know, it's like I was talking to a seller earlier this week about interest rates. And I said, well, yeah, the Fed's supposed to cut the rate 3 times this year. That will trickle down to mortgage rates. Are we ever going to see 2.5%, 3.5% again? Probably not.
Probably not in our lifetime, if ever. But, you know, everybody is waiting on this big pricing correction,
Yeah.
like what happened in '08. And I'm like, it's not going to happen. It's
Yeah.
just not going to happen right now. So if you're waiting to get a deal, you've probably waited too long, because there's not very many deals to be had out there. Anything else you need to add on the mortgage side? Anything exciting coming up that we
No,
need to know
just
about?
back about the comments about the prices, coming down. I think I'm trying to think some of the closings. I mean, people are still coming here. Moving to Tennessee. So I think I've had a Florida and a Maryland and a Pennsylvania just in the month of January. So my Florida
Tennessee
people might
was
have been
the
shocked last
number
week.
3 state in the country for incoming
Really?
movers.
Okay. So yeah, that's going to keep our values up, which, as you are a homeowner, the values going up is a good thing. So
Yeah, the only problem with all that is it does squeeze your first time home buyers
it does.
out.
It does.
You know, I mean, if you'd have told me when I was trying to buy my first house that I was going to have to, pay $300,000,
Oh, I know.
I would have died.
Yeah.
Like I just had to rent forever. So.
I agree.
And the crazy thing is, the house that I live in now, which is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath in Lakemore, cost less than $300,000 when I bought it.
Yeah.
So, you couldn't get the same house today for what I paid for mine.
Right.
Which is kind of sad, but I do want to make mention of the fact that on February the 20th, from 5:30 to 7 here at the RE/MAX office on Morse Boulevard, I'm going to be having a seller success seminar. So if you're thinking about selling your home in 2024 and you want to know what you need to do to get your home ready to go on the market, what you can expect to get for your house, how long it's going to take to sell your house. If you have questions about the selling process, please feel free to come. Seating is limited, so I will need you to register. Once the live is over, I will drop that link in the comments for you. But the website to register is sellingseminar.homes. So sellingseminar.homes. If you want to register, again, it's February the 20th from 5:30 to 7. All the details will be on the website. So thinking about selling, please sign up. Probably do a few more of those throughout the year, just to help people out, but I think it'll be a good thing. So
That's great.
if you know anybody, feel free to send them over here.
We will. That's great.
All right, so next week we will be back. Wallace Hardware, I believe, is going to be our special guest next Wednesday. So we look forward to seeing you guys then.